Welcome to our channel where we delve into the latest happenings and current affairs from around the world. Today, we'll be discussing a significant event that has raised concerns in the international community: Australia's decision to cancel the Quad Summit due to the United States' ongoing debt ceiling crisis. The Quad Summit, a diplomatic gathering of the United States, Japan, India, and Australia, was poised to address critical issues such as regional security, economic cooperation, and tackle climate change. However, the shadow of the debt ceiling crisis loomed large over the United States, forcing them to take a step back from this crucial meeting. The debt ceiling crisis, which has been brewing within the United States, reached a tipping point, prompting tough decisions on prioritizing domestic financial stability. As a result, the US government had to make difficult choices, and unfortunately, one of them was not to attend the Quad Summit this time. The unexpected turn of events has raised concerns among nations participating in the Quad Summit and has created ripples in global diplomacy. The United States' absence from the crucial diplomatic platform has sparked debates about the implications for regional security, trade relations, and future collaborative efforts to address pressing global challenges. In this video, we will explore the reasons behind the United States' decision, the potential consequences for the cancellation of Quad Summit's agenda, and broader implications for international relations. We will evaluate the geopolitical implications and shed light on the implications for both the United States and its partner nations. So join us as we delve into the intricacies of this significant event and strive to gain a deeper understanding of the USA's departure from the Quad Summit amidst our debt ceiling crisis. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest video. Let's dive in. The planned Quad Summit meeting in Sydney got cancelled suddenly. President Joe Biden decided not to go to Australia, which is seen as a victory for China. Chinese state media can now use this cancellation to strengthen their message that the US is unstable domestically and not a dependable ally. Furthermore, the cancellation undermines the United States' standing in the Pacific region and raises questions about its commitments to countering China's influence. Remember that the Quad Summit is a crucial platform for the member countries to showcase their unity and collective efforts. Speculations had been rife that President Biden might alter his travel plans to negotiate a deal with Republicans in Congress to prevent the United States from defaulting on its debt. This added dimension further contributed to the cancellation of Quad Summit, redirecting Biden's focus to urgent domestic matters. The cancellation of the Quad Summit also delivers a blow to Australia, as officials had invested significant time and resources in planning the event. The Australian government had even allocated $23 million in the budget to cover the costs of hosting the summit, making it a significant setback. The cancellation of the summit by President Biden has far-reaching implications that extend beyond the immediate circumstances. Let's explore the potential impacts of this decision. Firstly, the cancellation raises questions about the reliability of US as a partner and its commitments to its allies, particularly in the Indo-Pacific region. It provides fodder for narratives promoted by China portraying the US as an unreliable ally, quick to abandon its partners when faced with domestic difficulties. Furthermore, the cancellation strengthens China's narrative of a domestically stable and dependable partner. Chinese state media can exploit this opportunity to reinforce perceptions that the US is facing political challenges and lacks the stability required for consistent international cooperation. The cancellation also undermines the collective influence and signaling power of the Quad. The summit was a crucial platform for the four countries to showcase their unity and discuss regional challenges. The absence of the meeting may give the perception of disunity or wavering commitment among the Quad member countries. Australia, as the host of the Quad Summit, will feel the impact of the cancellation acutely. The country had invested significant time, effort, and resources in planning the event, making the cancellation disappointing for Australian officials who had high hopes for the summit. On a broader scale, the cancellation may have geopolitical implications. It could be seen as a missed opportunity to address regional security concerns, counter China's growing influence, and advance shared interests among Quad member countries. Additionally, the ongoing discussions about expanding the Quad or engaging with other regional partners may face obstacles due to the cancellation. It is important to recognize that the full extent of the impact will depend on how the cancellation is perceived and the subsequent actions taken by the involved parties. The Quad member countries will need to address any potential fallout and work towards restoring confidence and advancing their shared goals. Moreover, doubts may arise among some countries in the region regarding the US's commitment to countering China's growing influence. This could prompt a re-evaluation of partnerships and alliances, potentially leading some countries to consider aligning or cooperating with China instead. The cancellation also raises concerns about the unity and commitment of the Quad member countries. It might be perceived as a sign of disunity or wavering commitment, eroding the collective influence and coordination of the Quad. This could hinder the group's ability to effectively address regional challenges and present a united front against China's assertiveness. China could seize this opportunity to engage with countries that had anticipated the Quad Summit. It may offer alternative cooperative platforms or initiatives aiming to strengthen bilateral relationships in the region and promote its own vision of regional order and economic connectivity. Furthermore, the US, potentially seen as less reliable and committed, China could find it easier to expand its economic influence in the region. It could capitalize on economic opportunities such as infrastructure investments, trade partnerships, and developmental projects to deepen its ties with countries in the Indo-Pacific. However, it is important to note that these potential benefits for China are subject to various factors. The impact will depend on how the cancellation is perceived by different countries, the subsequent actions taken by China and the Quad member countries, and the broader geopolitical dynamics at play in the Indo-Pacific region. Now, let's shift our attention to the debt ceiling crisis in the United States. This crisis emerges when the government finds itself running out of funds to meet its financial obligations. Think of it as a limit on how much money the government can borrow. Currently, Democrats and Republicans, two distinct political parties, find themselves embroiled in a heated debate over whether to raise this limit or not. If an agreement to raise the limit cannot be reached, the government may face significant challenges in paying for essential services such as healthcare, education, and even the salaries of its own employees. This can lead to various problems, including the government's inability to meet its financial obligations and the potential risk of defaulting on its debts. It's comparable to an individual who is unable to pay his credit card bills, impacting his credit score and future borrowing capacity. A US government default on its debts would have far severe consequences. It could result in increasing borrowing costs for the government in future, potentially affecting the overall economy. Furthermore, it could erode public confidence in the government's ability to manage its finances, creating uncertainty that could impact investments and employment opportunities. Therefore, finding a resolution and reaching a bipartisan agreement to raise the debt ceiling is of paramount importance. Both Democrats and Republicans need to come together to avert a potential financial crisis. This issue carries a significant weight, as it not only affects the functioning of the US government, but has also a far-reaching implication for the economy and the lives of everyday citizens. In order to understand this crisis even better, let's delve deeper into the timeline and potential consequences of the ongoing debt ceiling crisis in the United States. On January 19, 2023, the country reached its debt ceiling, setting the stage for a looming crisis. In response, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen implemented temporary measures to address the situation. These measures aimed to buy some time and prevent an immediate default on the country's financial obligations. It's worth noting that the debt ceiling has been raised multiple times in the past. However, this time, a debate erupted between Republicans and Democrats regarding spending cuts and preconditions attached to raising the debt ceiling. If the debt ceiling is not raised, the United States could begin defaulting on its debts between early July and early September. This would have severe repercussions, potentially leading to a global economic meltdown. The consequences of defaulting could include failing to make payments to bondholders or curtailing payments to various companies and individuals. Such actions would trigger a chain reaction of financial instability, adversely affecting economies worldwide. In the absence of the ability to issue new debt, the government would be compelled to impose budget cuts equivalent to 5% of the American economy. This would have significant implications for government programs, services, and public welfare. Economists estimate that the default date, also known as the X date, could occur around 18th of August 2023. They have issued stark warnings about the disastrous consequences that would ensue if the debt ceiling is not raised promptly. On May 1st, 2023, Treasury Secretary again cautioned that the United States might exhaust its measures to pay its debt obligations by June 1st, 2023. This heightened the urgency to address the debt ceiling and find a resolution before the situation escalates further. The clock is ticking. The stakes are high. As the United States grapples with the impending debt crisis, its implications reverberate globally. The suspension of the Quad Summit due to US debt ceiling crisis could have several repercussions for India, both regionally and domestically. Regionally, the Quad Summit was a significant platform for India to engage with like-minded countries, the US, Japan, and Australia, in addressing shared challenges, prompting maritime security and fostering economic connectivity. The cancellation of the summit may temporarily disrupt the momentum and hinder coordinated efforts among the Quad member countries. This could potentially delay progress in areas such as regional security, counterterrorism, and strategic cooperation. Moreover, the suspension of the summit might impact India's ability to showcase its strategic alignment and deepen partnerships in the Indo-Pacific region. The Quad's collective presence and shared objectives provide a crucial framework for India to counterbalance China's growing influence. Domestically, India's business and economic sectors could experience indirect consequences due to the US debt ceiling crisis. The centrality of the US economy to global growth means that any disruption or instability can have ripple effects in the Indian market. Investor sentiment may be impacted, potentially leading to volatility in financial markets. This could affect Indian businesses with exposure to the United States, causing operational challenges and uncertainties. Furthermore, the debt ceiling crisis might trigger concerns about the global economic outlook, leading to a cautious approach in trade and investment decisions. This could have implications for India's export-oriented sectors and international business collaborations. While the full extent of the impact remains uncertain, it is essential for Indian policymakers and business leaders to closely monitor the evolving situation, assess potential risks, and devise strategies to mitigate any adverse effects. As the Quad summit remains suspended and the US debt ceiling crisis unfolds, India, among other nations, must adapt to the changing geopolitical landscape and seek alternative avenues for regional cooperation and economic growth. In conclusion, the suspended Quad summit and the US debt ceiling crisis have far-reaching implications for the Indo-Pacific region, including India. The Quad's collective efforts to promote a free, open, and inclusive Indo-Pacific might face temporary setbacks, delaying progress in addressing shared challenges and fostering regional security. Moreover, the cancellation of the summit and the uncertainty surrounding the debt ceiling crisis create a backdrop of economic volatility and investor caution. India's business sector, with ties to the United States, may experience operational challenges and uncertainties. However, it is important to remember that geopolitical dynamics are fluid, and challenges present opportunities for adaptation and resilience. India, along with other nations, must closely monitor developments, strengthen alternative partnerships, and navigate the changing landscape. The Indo-Pacific region's future hinges on collaborative efforts, strategic cooperation, and an inclusive vision for growth. As we continue to follow these developments, it is crucial to stay informed and engaged, understanding the evolving dynamics and their impact on regional stability and prosperity. Thank you for joining us on this journey of analysis and exploration. We hope this video has provided you with valuable insights into the suspended Quad summit and the United States debt ceiling crisis. Remember to subscribe to our channel for more updates and analysis on global affairs. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and stay connected. Take care.